We got a young man in here with a lot of aspiration. And he just, and I want to have him come on up here. His name is Brother Ars Taylor. I got that right?
You got it right?
You got it right.
No.
Give Brother Taylor a hand. Before I tell you how much ambition he has, and you know, it reminds me of a cartoon I believe I gave one friend, and the artist had drawn a cartoon, and he said the height of ambition or something is ant crawling up an elephant's leg with a mind.
And crawling up the
But
elephant.
this
What on his
man is hey, he wants to go someplace. And he says, man, can I come? I said, can you? You better come here. They don't want to hear you over yonder.
Man.
All right, Taylor.
Thank you so much. We're in South Memphis. I
Okay.
shouldn't say right here, but over in South Memphis on Lucy Street.
Okay.
I'm sure most of you or some of you know the area. My father, I grew up to a Baptist and Methodist minister, and he was that way for at least 50 years of my life. At 78, I introduced a concept to my father. I said, Daddy, why don't you embark upon a study of African people with me? And so for 10 years, he and I read books, watched videos, looked at documentaries, and it culminated 10 years later, at the age of 88, I said, Daddy, why not go with me to Africa?
Wow.
At 88, he said, okay, son, I don't even have a passport, but I will go with you to Africa. So I took the time to help him obtain a passport. And on his 88th birthday, we left the city of Memphis,
Man.
flew to Africa. And we stayed there for about 17 days.
Wow.
And he saw things that at best he had only seen pictures of. And only seeing a picture, you cannot necessarily get the full gravity, the magnitude of an item. But at 88, when he stepped off that plane and looked in the distance and saw those pyramids, he said, boy, those pyramids are talked about in the Bible. I said, Daddy, don't forget, we did 10 years of research. I know this. You know this. But I won't spoil it for you. Let the tour begin.
Man.
We were riding on the Nile River. And I remember he said these words, and I'll wrap this up right quick. He said, show me the spot where baby Moses is in that basket amongst the bulrushes. Show me where that spot is. And I knew at that moment he had temporarily forgotten some things that we had read, some things that we had validated already. But luckily, the tour guide was there, an Egyptian fellow, and he said, Mr. Taylor, Reverend, let me be the one to share this with you. Nowhere in Egypt, nowhere in the records in Egypt had such a story, an event ever been documented.
Wow.
And he left it alone at that moment. he said to me, why hadn't we been taught this? Why had I not been taught this when I was a child growing up? I said, Daddy, you're 88. You were born in 22 in Marshall County, Mississippi. So we know.
Why you been taught this? Man.
I said, need I say any more? Well, when we made it back here to Memphis, he tried for the next 3 years to share everything that he had experienced. The fact that we went down inside a pyramid and came back up, almost, if you will, a literal rebirthing. And he said, had I known this when I was a young child, or even as a young adult, I would most likely have left the United States.
My Lord.
When I heard that, I said, my task is done. Now, why am I here today? I am an official candidate for the office of the President of the United States.
Give him a hand.
For all of you who have smartphones or mobile phones, as my hat says, Horace Taylor, please enter Horace Taylor, the numbers 2020, as this year is, .com, and you will see my official web page. You will see my platform, and you will see that I am not a Democrat. I am not necessarily a Republican. I am simply a candidate for all of America. When I first came back to Memphis, I came here. I was introduced then to Dr. Richmond. We were sitting over there, and I remember saying, I just came back home. I've been paying taxes on the property for 30 years, and I want to be mayor of this town. And he must have said to me, are you kidding me? Who are you? Do you know the history of this city? I was not thinking about that. I just knew I left here as an 18-year-old kid, went off and joined the military and was gone for about 30 plus years. When I retired a few years ago, is when I came back. And I saw then the fact that at Memphis, well, it was Memphis State when I attended, the University of Memphis has a renowned Egyptology department. So I did a canvass of the schools in this city and found not one single school, grade school or otherwise, taught anything about Egyptology. And I said, that's a travesty. Something is wrong with that. So, as you know, I was born in, well, you don't know, I was born in 62. Since 62, the United States has been at war. So I have declared that I too will be a war president, but I will have a war on education.
Man.
We will fix that. There's no way that my people cannot know who they are. It says something like that over, I think, over in Isaac, right? Isaac. I have kind of gotten the Bible out of my system for good reasons.
For good reason.
Not that I don't believe, but I know better because
Amen.
I do.
when you learn to read the ancient Egyptian hieroglyph
Thank you.
and you see Bible stories written in stone, etched in stone, and I am taught this book is the word of God, then I said, what the hell is that on the wall?
Exactly.
Come on.
So that's why I will be a war president. Unfortunately, not to kill people, but to liberate their minds.
Man. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I was supposed to keep it short, so I will ease on out of here, just like that. Ease up here. Thank you so
Taylor,
much.
give him a hand. Give him a hand. Taylor. You know, every time somebody gets up and goes to something, it brings something to mind. Brother Taylor.